What's going on, guys? It's the boss, and I'm back to talk some boxing post-fight. Danny Garcia, Jose Benavidez. Don't you go anywhere. We'll be right back after the intro. All right. Let's talk about these fights tonight, guys. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification bell if you want to be a part of the crew. Okay, the crew that is the G Funky Boxing crew. Okay, well, PBC gave us a lot of fights tonight, man. We gotta give them credit when they deserve it, when it's due. And I've been watching fights since 4 p.m. today and had a great time. I was watching these fights out in the pool, and I'm just enjoying the day, man. I'm glad that again we got a lot of fights to watch. So let's start off with, I want to talk about the main card. All right, I know that they had prelims on. Sergey Deverenchenko looked pretty good in his comeback. He needed a win badly. He's had 3 straight losses, so he needed to get himself a win, and he did that in impressive fashion against Joshua Conley. So let's talk about, again. Let's start with the main card here. Okay, Gary Antoine Russell versus Frances Barthelemy. Okay, in what I thought was a really competitive fight, and it got ruined by a bullshit decision from a bullshit referee. Don't forget to hit that like button, guys. All right, don't forget to do that for me. My scorecard for that fight was, I gave Barthelemy the first round, gave Russell the second. I felt that was a swing round, right? Barthelemy came on strong at the end of that round. Not to mention he hurt Russell in round 1. Hurt him badly in round 1. Round 3, I had a close round, swing round as well. I gave that one to Barthelemy. And round 4, and then I gave round 5 to Russell, and then obviously he wins the fight in round 6, in a round that I was going to give him anyway. He drops Barthelemy with a right hook high on the head, and the referee decided to stop the fight for God knows why. I just don't get it. If any of you guys out there can explain to me why he stopped that fight, I would really like to know. And another thing that I hate is, I'm already seeing some fans say things like, well, Russell would have won anyway. Like, no, that's bullshit. Okay, we don't know that. Fight was competitive. He was hurt a couple times himself. And Barthelemy got up. He looked clear to me. He followed the ref's directions when he said, come to me. Give me your gloves. He did everything. And then the referee just stopped it. We didn't get an explanation. Nothing. I wish they would have asked that referee, like, why did you stop this fight? For what? A good competitive fight that Russell was being tested in. This is what we want to see with these young guys, right? We want to see them tested. They got to run this shit back, man. They got to run it back, man. They have to. What's going on? Kamikaze, yes, horrible stoppage. Horrible, man. Worst of the year. That goes in the drawing for worst stoppage of the year, in my opinion. Awful. Awful, awful. Let's see what the ghost says. Barthelemy was outboxing easy from the outside. Russell went inside round 5. He had no choice. It was getting good. Russell, tried to jump on him early. He likes to start fast on guys. I don't know how long that's going to hold up. I don't think his defense is very good to be rushing in like that. Barthelemy was in this fight, man. I don't care what any of these guys say. And I seen the scorecards. The judges at the time of the stoppage, they had him winning pretty widely. I'm sorry, I didn't see that, man. I didn't see that. I feel like the fight was very, very close and competitive. Should have never been stopped that way. Never. We need to see that again. Hopefully we can get that again. Hopefully. So let's go on to the next fight. Kawanaki, Demarius, Ali Demarius, and what was a really good fight in the heavyweight division. Kawanaki said that, he's pretty much done if he takes a loss here tonight. And he does take the loss on the judges' scorecards. I actually scored the fight even. Added 95-95 at the end of the stoppage. That's what I had. The GOAT here says Antoine is nowhere near as sharp as his older brother. Yeah, they're two different fighters. That's for sure. Major Key Boxing, what's going on, man? Guys, check out Major Key. If you're not subscribed to him, check him out. Yeah, I scored the heavyweight fight even. So let me get my card, let you guys know how I had it. Round 1, I gave to Kawanaki. The first 2, actually the first 3. Round 3, I had marked as a swing round. There's a lot of competitive rounds in this fight. I had 2 swing rounds where that could have went either way. And round 3 was one of them I gave to Kawanaki. The next 2 I gave to Demarius. 6, Kawanaki. 7 to Demarius. 8 Kawanaki, and then the next 2 I gave to Demarius, and I felt like he took over the fight. The last couple rounds, Kawanaki looked like he was getting tired. Demarius stepped on the gas and won the last 2 rounds to close the gap on my card and to get a draw. And Kawanaki still has the same problems, man. He's just so bad defensively, and his head is just right there to be hit. And when he gets hit, it just looks so dramatic, I don't think he was really in trouble at any point in this fight. I didn't feel like he was going to go down or anything like that. But it just looks so bad because his head is just right there. He doesn't move his head very well. He doesn't bring that left hand back when he's throwing the jab. He just kind of just shoots it and then brings it here instead of shooting it out and then bringing it back, to protect. He keeps the right hand up pretty good though. But yeah, just defensively, he's just awful, man. And the way he gets hit, it kind of reminds me of Prince Nassim from back 20 plus years ago. When he would get hit, he would be in such bad position that it would look worse than what it is. I don't know what they do in that camp when they're sparring. This can't be happening in sparring. if I see my guy getting hit like this in sparring, like I'd have to say, you know what, man, maybe we maybe we shouldn't fight. Like I don't, I like he just gets hit so much, and again, it's always the left side. Demir's was landing a lot of right hands over the jab because he was just waiting for him to shoot it because he's going to throw it back and leave it here, and he was getting clocked. And you could see that that was the part of his face that was getting damaged the most. The eye was swollen and it got lacerated in the last couple rounds because he was just continuously getting hit on that left side. Was not defending himself very well. William Boxing, what's up, man? What's going on? So I felt it was a very competitive fight and close fight, and I had it a draw. Another fight I wouldn't mind seeing again. um, no controversy though, in my opinion, in this fight because I feel like again there was rounds that could have went to either guy. Um, but it was a good fight, man. I enjoyed it. Really, really good fight. And I think that this is the level that Kawanaki's going to be at. These type of guys. Anybody in the top 10, God, I would hate to see it. I'm sorry. Look, I know this is a brutal sport that we love and that we all watch every weekend, but man, it would be ugly. Ugly. If he fights anybody in the top 10, they're going to beat the shit out of Kawanaki. Man, it'll be bad. It will be very, very bad. Um, so I think, yeah, sticking from guys from like the top 25 to like the top 10, but nobody inside the top 10. I don't want to see Kawanaki in there again. So I'm sorry. Major Key here says only controversy tonight was that stoppage. Yep, that was awful, man. Just awful. And there needs to be an investigation, man. They need to question that referee on why the hell you stopped that fight. Barthelemy looked clean to me. He looked clear. He looked good. Yeah, he went down. Got hit with a nice right hook, high on the head. Went down, got up. Guys go down and get up and win. Like you can't just stop the fight like that. I'm getting angry again, bro. I was really angry when that first happened. I was really, really angry. My wife had just brought dinner home. I'm sitting down watching the fight at the same time getting ready to eat. Hadn't even touched my food yet. And then that happened. And I was just like, I couldn't even eat. Like I had to make my video real quick and rant for a second. Just awful. Awful. All right. All right. So let's talk about the main event. Main event time. Danny Garcia, first fight at 154 pounds against Jose Benavidez Jr. And what I thought was a pretty entertaining fight, you know, got to be honest with you. Um, but let me say, okay, I'm going to talk about I'm going to give you my scorecard before I say some things here. All right. But I had Danny Garcia winning this fight, 116, 112, 8 rounds to 4. I felt like the early rounds were competitive. And to me, I gave Benavidez the first 2 rounds, Garcia round 3, and then I gave Benavidez round 4. I felt like those first 4 rounds were very, very close. And in my opinion, again, this is my opinion. I know that people were scoring rounds for Garcia based off of his work. He was just outworking Jose. But in my opinion, I feel like Jose's work was just cleaner to me. I felt like Garcia's a lot of his stuff was landing on the gloves, was being blocked early on, is what I saw. Then Garcia took over the fight from there. I gave him every single round from round 5 on, except for round 9. That's it. And let me read some comments here. Let's see. Major Key says, I was pissed off too until I took a bite of my white cat. You too much, man. Danny did a good job. Let's see. Danny is world class. Give the man his respect. He pitched a shutout, in my opinion. I'm gonna say this, guys, and you guys are probably gonna disagree with me, but I think that Danny Garcia's days at this level are just about over. I gotta say, I was not impressed tonight. I just wasn't. And I'll tell you why. Garcia was fighting a guy in Jose Benavidez Jr. who was, you know, and Tony Harrison said it himself. He's a welterweight, just like Danny Garcia is a guy just moving up, right? Fought a guy who's naturally a welterweight, who is physically damaged, you know. Boxing Vitals, what's up, man? I'm gonna open up the phone lines here in a minute. Stick around. He was physically limited due to the injury that he sustained a few years back. I felt like Garcia should have took him out, man. I'm just being flat out honest with you. I feel like he should have took Benavidez out, and he couldn't do it. I feel like Danny's movement, like, did a lot of movement, more movement than I think we've ever seen him do in a fight. I feel like that movement was a lot of wasted movement. I don't feel like he needed to move that much to win this fight. He did well when he stood at mid range and in the pocket with Benavidez. So I don't know why he was doing all that movement. I feel like it was just retreating, in my opinion. He wasn't moving to set traps to get Jose in a position to where he could bang, bang, and then get out of the way, you know? As where you see a lot of outboxers do that. To me, Garcia was just moving just to move, you know? And like I said earlier, a lot of his stuff, I think he was, again, he outworked Jose, right? You can't, it's hard to justify giving a guy a round when he's just blocking a majority of the time, you know, when the other guy's busy. He outworked him. But I feel like a majority of those shots weren't getting in clean, you know? It wasn't getting in clean. It just wasn't. And I feel like he's definitely going to be food at 154 pounds. That's what I'm thinking in my head as the fight was going on, round after round after round. And then when the fight's over, he says he wants to rematch Keith Thurman, right? He named off a couple of people. He wants to rematch Keith Thurman. So I guess he's going to go back down to welterweight. I don't know. Because, I mean, Thurman has fought at 154 before. So, I mean, is Thurman going to leave the welterweight division or what? I know that right now he's the number one contender in the WBC. That's a mystery to me. I don't know what's going to happen with that. But he called out Thurman, said he wants that rematch with Thurman. Or he wants to fight at a catchweight, 155 pounds, against Erslandy Lara for the regular WBA, for the regular middleweight WBA. To me, that tells me everything I need to know about Danny's future. Right now, he's just looking for names. I don't think he's looking to, if he's going to stay at 154 pounds, it doesn't seem like he wants any of those guys. Like, I mean, obviously, Charlo is busy right now with Tim Tszyu. He didn't mention like a Castaño. He didn't mention a Fondora. He didn't mention a Tony Harrison. He mentioned guys that aren't even in the division. So to me, Danny, I think his days are numbered, man. I really do. I really do. And those fights that he said he wants, like a Thurman and Lara, I don't think those are give me's for Danny Garcia. I just don't. Thurman is still going to be a tough fight. And so is Lara. I mean, Lara can still fight, you know? Now, again, he's 40, I think. So, yeah, I think Danny, I think the Danny Garcia that's going to be fighting at this level, or the level that we're used to seeing him at 154 pounds, is, I think it's over. I think he's gone, man. That's just my opinion. I'm going to read some comments here while I open up the phone lines. If anybody wants to give me a call, let me put the number up on the screen real quick. There it is, guys. Phone lines are officially open. Let's see. John Doe says Danny's days are over. Should have knocked out Benavidez. I agree. He had a one-legged man in front of him. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not the thing moved down on me. Let me read the highlighted comment. Come on, get it together, G Funky. Gary Russell again. Post all. The referee stopped it with 30 seconds left in the last round. Yeah, that's right. I remember that. Yeah, investigate. It's got to be. That was just ridiculous, man. El Cheeto, what's up, bro? He says, Danny should have went down and weight, not up. Let's see. Benavidez was loading up heavy with his legs. Looked good to me. Major Key says, no, G Funky. Spoke to Benavidez Sr. a few days ago. Asked about the leg. He said it's 100. I've heard it hasn't been 100 for a long time from some other people that are close to the camp. He just doesn't look like. I mean, I watched his last fight against the guy. I think the guy's name was Torres. And look, he looked better to me in this fight than he did in that fight. But he's just still not the same guy. Boxing Vital says Jose has the boxing IQ and can take a punch, but can't move laterally, can't cut the ring off. Danny's punches were not effective whatsoever. I feel the same way, man. I don't feel like a lot of that shit got in clean, you know? I mean, he won the fight. I scored the fight for him, but I don't feel like a lot of that shit was getting in clean. Another John Doe. Yeah, I read that earlier. Let's see here. We beat Crooks. Unbelievable. I can't believe they try to. I don't want to say the guy's name, but they try to put Jake Paul in the ratings. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, let's see. I thought Thurman was wanting to go up too. I don't know what the hell Thurman wants to do, man. He's all over the place. Let's see. Looking for my money. That's all. 2 more fights. He retires. Let's see. Yeah, you remember that? Again, guys, phone line is open. If anybody wants to give me a call, I'll be here for another 40 minutes, and then I'm gonna call it a night. But again, PBC gave us a lot of fights today. A couple of fights on the prelims, and then 3 fights tonight on the main card. But Danny Garcia, to me, even before this fight, there was always something missing. I don't know what it was. I still can't put my finger on what it is that he's missing to make me get on the train. You know what I'm saying? Because like he's got good hand speed, good power. He's shown a really good chin throughout his career. He's got great timing on that left hook. There's just something missing. I don't know what it is. I just can't. Like I said, I cannot figure it out for the life of me what it is. It's just like when you I got a phone call, guys. Give me a second.
Call from
Ozzy, Kamek Ozzy.
To accept, press.
What's going on, bro?
How's it going, man? I have to call. You know I have to call.
I appreciate that. 409, you're calling right now. Call back after this call. I'll take your call, man. But go ahead, brother. Go ahead and cook, man.
I shouldn't be too long. I just want to give my main thoughts on the main event fight, Garcia and Benavidez. It was a good performance by Danny. Like you mentioned, he did move a lot, and I didn't expect him to move so much.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like if he does get in there with Harrison, with those top tier 154 pounders, he's going to have that sort of movement. So could it be that he was just seeing how it would work with Benavidez? What do you think?
It's possible. That's a good point. I think maybe it was just like I said. I feel like he's limited physically. Like you could just see it when he's fighting Jose. That is,
Right.
So maybe to kind of keep him, moving around, they probably, figured, hey, he's got a leg injury. Let's move a little bit more than we normally do, and see how he does with that. But to me, it just wasn't. I feel like he could have done a better job setting his punches off the movement, and he just didn't do that for me. I don't know, man. I'm just maybe I'm being too overcritical. I don't know, but like I don't know, man. I wasn't that impressed,
I mean, we all have our opinions. I thought it was a good performance. I wasn't impressed, but I was if I was in, Danny's corner in this team, I'd be happy with the performance. Now, the question is, who does he fight after? He mentioned Erzan Lara, and he mentioned Keith Thurman, and yeah, I agree. I don't think those fights are, automatic wins.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting what happens next. It does seem though that he's on his maybe like late stage in his career. I could probably see Danny maybe fighting like 2 or 3 more times, or maybe more. I mean, he looked like he was really good, but as far as who he wants and his vision right now, I just don't see him getting in there with Fundora, Harrison. What's that guy's name?
Castaño,
the guy that just lost to Charlo. Yeah, Castaño, exactly. Yeah, so we'll see. But I have no complaints. PBC, the Haymanites, they should be happy tonight.
Yeah.
And last thing I want to say is just give a shout out to Danny for, I don't know, they're just being vulnerable at the end of that interview. I mean, I guess it's, there's people who deal with that stuff. So I tip my hat off to those who express those battles, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah. He seemed to let some emotions out at the end there. I know he said he was dealing with some anxiety and depression and things like that. I mean, a lot of people were dealing with it, man, during that time period, So, yeah, good for him, to overcome those things. You know what I'm saying? And, I definitely agree with you, man. I don't think Thurman or Lada are easy fights for him, man. Even with Lada being 40,
Yeah.
I still think it would be a tough fight for Danny.
Yeah, that fight right there is tough. I would favor Lara, actually, to be honest with you.
I think I might too. Just to be honest with you, man. I think so too. But we'll see, man. A southpaw, Cuban southpaw, who could still move a little bit, could give him some trouble. But we'll see, man. We'll see if they make that fight. I know you mentioned Fondora. Oh man, I think that would be a bad decision to fight a Fondora.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, that would be ugly.
Yeah, that would. Speaking of Fondora, who would you like to see him fight next? I mean, he beat Lubin. That was a really solid win, really good win.
Yeah.
Who could you see him realistically fighting?
Geez, that's a good question. I mean, Harrison's coming off a win. I mean, it looks like, the undisputed champion, Charlo, is busy with Tim Tszyu. So, I mean, hey, give him Harrison. I mean, it doesn't seem like Danny wants to fight Tony Harrison, even though Tony Harrison said, he wants to fight him. But we'll see. Nothing's set in stone. These are just, I guess, some names you want to throw out there, but we'll see what PBC does. But like, I wouldn't mind seeing Harrison versus Fondora in the meantime. I think that'd be a really good fight.
Oh yeah, I'll take that fight as well. I just don't think these guys are gonna want to get in there with him. He's a threat, man.
He is a damn tornado, like Jesus, that guy. Well, like his name is the Towering Inferno. Like the guy just, man, he's really something. So, but no, man, I appreciate the call, brother. And
yeah, thanks for taking my call, man. And I'll be tuning in the show, just checking out and commenting every so often.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate the support, man.
No problem, man. Have a good night.
All right, you too, brother. All right, guys. 409, area code 409. You called just about 15 seconds after Cosmic Ozzy called in. So the phone line is open now, 409. If you want to call in, you can give me a call. Got another phone call, guys. Give me a second.
From
Major Key Boxing.
To accept, press 1.
All right, got my man Major Key. What's going on, Major Key?
What's going on, G Funky? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, man. We had a lot of fights today. Had a lot of time outside and enjoying the summertime while it's still here,
Absolutely, no, definitely. I just wanted to call in about that whole as far as Benavidez's leg. I don't want to use that one as an excuse, only because when I spoke to his pops the other day, that was the only question that I got in about Jose. I only asked him 2 questions, one about David and then the other one about Jose, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the fact of the matter is, he said that no, his legs 100%, but it's a 50-50 fight. So at that moment, when I'm hearing a pop say that, right, then I was like, oh shit, Danny got a good shot. So I actually like predicted, and you know how we predict on Champ Ross.
Mm-hmm.
You remember Champ Ross, right?
Yeah.
So we got that little prediction league and stuff like that. I predicted on Champ Ross Garcia by UD, and that's why, because I know that they're not easy to knock out, neither of them. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that his pop said that it was a 50-50 shot, that tells me that there were some doubts over there. But he did say, right, when I asked him about the question, he's like, no, the leg is a good thing, man. It's not even about that anymore. That's what he said. Like, so I you know what I mean? So even though he's been losing, we could probably say that that's because you know, he's at a higher weight class and not the same type of fighter that he was before the leg. But that's because, you know, he hasn't trained to that optimal level yet. That's what I think. It's not like because of the leg now, maybe the leg had an influence on how his trajectory went. You see what I'm saying? That's where I agree with you on that.
Mm-hmm.
Where the trajectory since the leg injury may have influenced how he you know, presents himself now. But as far as like the who was the better fighter today, it had nothing to do with the leg injury. I don't believe. You know what I'm saying? That's all I gotta say. Like, you know, when it comes to that.
Yeah, you know, Danny, you know, he outworked him big time, man. And the thing that irritates me when I see guys doing this, right? Guys are throwing punches at him, they're blocking, whatnot, and they don't throw anything back. You know, like that's exactly what Hoet did last week. I feel like that's what lost him the fight. Because he's just sitting there blocking punches and then, you know, not throwing nothing back immediately, no immediate answer. Same thing here with Benavidez. It's like, you know, okay, look, you're picking off some of these shots, but where's yours? You know,
Right.
like putting your hands down and opening your mouth and showing your tongue. Like, that's not a scoring criteria, bro. Like, you still have to let your hands go too. You still have to land punches too. All right, like this is like that's the thing that drives me nuts when guys do that. But yeah, what do you think about it? Do you think Danny's is gonna stay at 154 or what? Because like I said, he called out, you know, Thurman and Lara. So I mean, I don't know, man. It's iffy to me.
Yeah, no, I don't think. But the thing that I'm not that puts me on the fence with it, as far as like, I really don't want to answer that question yet, only because he did sound happy when he was giving an interview, and he did sound emotional, like the sport is therapeutic for him, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he did sound like he's having fun by fighting, and it's therapeutic for him, and he needed it. And so the fact that he was that emotional and wearing his heart on his sleeve tonight, that makes me just give him the benefit of the doubt. It's like, okay, well, even if he doesn't actually win the next fight, I'm gonna have faith that he will actually like go in there and be a warrior in the next fight, because if he really feels like it's therapeutic and he put his heart on his sleeve, and this is never gonna disappear, this information that he cried after this fight. So the next fight he has to bring it. You see what I'm saying?
Oh,
he has to bring it.
Oh yeah, man, definitely.
You feel me?
And yeah, I know people, you know, obviously we know how the internet is these days. They're gonna make fun of him for
I know,
crying or
mental illness.
whatnot.
I'm actually gonna do it live. I haven't been live in a couple of weeks for valid reasons. You know, I got my fucking my family over here, my kids. I just like, you know, was hanging out with my sister and my niece and all type of shit. Like, it's summer, you know.
Yes.
So everybody's visiting Florida. So, but now I'm about to go live, man. And the first thing I'm gonna talk about is Danny Garcia talking about mental illness, because I said it before that I don't joke around about things like that. I met a lot of people like that, bro, that didn't even know that they had it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
It's like some real shit, you know? So it needs to be kind of like highlighted when it comes down, especially to boxers. You know what I'm saying? Like, or entertainers, period. But specifically in our field, the YTBC, we need to highlight the boxers. You know, so if they say that, we can't make fun of them just because, you know, they want to be, it's a manly sport. You can't have no weakness like that. No, it's not even a weakness, bro. It's like you literally understanding yourself that something's wrong and having to deal with that, right? Recognizing that and having to deal with that, bringing it to the forefront. You know what I'm saying? And taking it head on. You know, that's strong.
Absolutely.
That's strong. That's not weak.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I agree. And look, he fought a battle and he won, you know, and for many people with mental illness, it's a battle that is really the unknown. A lot of the times when people suffer from anxiety, they're feeling certain things, their body feels a certain way, they don't even realize what it is.
Yep.
A lot of the time,
Yeah.
you know.
They can
So
literally go to the hospital, bro.
yeah,
They can literally go to the
Yeah.
hospital. I've seen people go to the hospital for that shit just because of their body reacting to the way that their mind is thinking.
Yeah, you're
You see what I'm
100%
saying?
correct. Yeah, I've seen it as well. I had a friend of mine who thought he was literally having a heart attack. But I mean,
Yeah,
it's not
that's
to
what they
laugh.
feel.
Yeah, not to laugh, but it was just anxiety. You know, it turned out they ran tests and everything, and turned out he was just having an anxiety attack. So yeah, but that's one of those things. You know, he was man enough to fight the battle. You know, and not succumb to it like a lot of people do. Unfortunately, you know, they let things like that get the best of them, and then next thing you know, they can't live a normal life. You know, but you know, he
And the
battled the
biggest thing
adversity.
is talking about it.
Mhm.
Talking about it on the biggest platform, right?
Yes, sir.
That's what the biggest platform they have is right there, that post-fight interview. And to put it there, that means that it's serious to him.
Yep. Yeah.
And we just got to respect that. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah. You have to, man. Because again, if people who don't suffer any kind of mental illness, like it is hard for them to understand, you know, but just, you know, just show some sympathy, man, because it is a battle for these people, you know. And there's a saying out there that says that, you know, a man will battle any adversity, and a coward will only fight a battle he knows he can win. You know, and when people suffer
Right.
from these things, they don't know if they can win. They just don't, you know. But he went in there and did what he had to
Yeah.
do, man, and he overcame. So he definitely deserves respect for that, you know.
Absolutely, man. In Puerto Rico, they got a saying, right?
Hmm.
It's los vagos trabajan doble, right? And the reason why is because you're so lazy, right? That you try to like forget about the issue, right? And try to like take shortcuts, but then you end up working twice as hard because you got to fix it because it didn't work.
Yeah, Mickey Mouse work is what we call it in the Chicano community. I would do something half-assed. My grandfather, Mickey Mouse, you know.
Yeah.
That's beautiful, man. But yeah, man. So I definitely look
Man,
forward to that live you said that you're gonna do. You know, I think
yeah,
that's
I'm
an
gonna do
interesting
that.
topic.
Yeah, and you're more than welcome. You're more than welcome to click the link, man. You know what I'm saying? We could chop it up. You know what I'm saying? But definitely when it comes down to that, man, the mental illness thing, man, that's something that I definitely want to talk to people about because I've seen so many people suffer through that in my life, man. Like I've seen so many people, bro. Like,
Yeah.
and it's crazy because until maybe like 10, 12 years ago is when I started realizing that, yo, this shit is deep, bro. Like these people are actually suffering from this shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's real, you know? And
Yeah.
like people that, you know, they just go through like some kind of like just relationship thing and they're like the coolest people, mad chill. And then they go through something, they like walking zombies, bro. And they don't even realize that they're depressed and going through something. You know what I'm saying? They don't realize, you know, that like it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yep.
You know?
You're 100% right, bro. I agree with everything you just said, man. But yeah, man, I appreciate the call, bro. And definitely I'll be looking forward. Definitely be looking to that live stream, man. You guys out there as well. Subscribe to Major Key Boxing, man. Good channel over there, man.
Thank you, brother.
Major Key, I appreciate your time, brother.
Bro.
You too.
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. I feel bad, man, because 409 has called me twice now. Maybe you're not live. 409, click your screen. If you're watching on your phone, click your screen, make sure you're live. Or if you're on a laptop, you know, just desktop, whatever, touch the put the cursor on the screen and make sure that you're live. So you know, you're you're up to speed on everything that's going on. But the phone lines are open again, guys. Want to read some more comments here? Boxing Bio says Danny has no charisma. That's what's missed. That's the missing component he needs to make him an exciting. That's why Crazy Angel does all the talking. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Danny not fighting Harrison, and Earl is not fighting Crawford either. It's terrible. Yeah, that's some funny stuff there, man. I see life isn't easy, but just have to keep getting back up. Boxing translate to life. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And look, Danny again was not afraid to put the mental illness thing out there, so we got to give him some credit for it. So let's give a shout out to Danny.
Never been a lame-o, never been a lame-o.
There he is. Who remembers that song from back in the day? That's when Danny Garcia was coming up in the boxing world, man. I believe he had just beat Lucas Matisse when that song came out, the Latin Goonies that he was on. Good times, man. I remember there's a lot of people who had a lot of interesting things to say about that here on the in the YTBC. He says, "What was that? You didn't know Danny had a rap? Danny was the rap, bro. I don't know if he still raps today. But yeah, that was one of his famous lines from the song called Latin Goonies. I think that's what the name, or is it the name of the group? I can't remember, but yeah, this is one of the famous.
Never been a lame-o, never been a lame-o.
Never been a lame-o. Shout out to Swift, man. We'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens with him in the future here. Let's see. Danny is HCP. You gotta love Major Key, man. That's my guy right there. Do you remember that shit when it came out, Major Key? I remember, man. Like a lot of people were, let's just say there's a lot of I don't know what you want to call them, studio. I don't know what you want to call them. I'm not the biggest hip hop fan, so like you're gonna have to forgive me if I don't know all the terms, but a lot of guys on here, or at least at the time, wanted to be rappers and just weren't very good. Okay. They would come on here and make songs, and look, I give them credit, they would make their beats and write 30, 40-second songs about their favorite fighters. I mean, this was a thing back in the days of the YouTube, early days of the YTBC, see, wanksters. Man, I feel sorry for 409, man. But you guys got to make sure that you're live, make sure that you're live when you come in. So,
Call from.
so we could get you on the show, you know what I'm saying? And like, I can only take one call at a time right now. So let's see. Boxing Vital says studio gangsters of rap. Yeah, there was a guy on here. I don't want to mention his name, but he was a huge Mayweather fanboy. And I remember he would make these videos where he would just talk shit about anybody who wasn't as big of a Mayweather fanboy as he was. And he would just make these songs like every video. If he was responding to one guy, it'd be a new song about Mayweather in the beginning of the video. Like it was a crazy time, man. This was before there was an option to go live. This is before there was an option to hit the link. Everything was either comment section or you make a video responding to that person. And you would have to say their name. I know a lot of people don't like to drop names these days, but yeah, that's how it was back in the early days of the YTBC. Fun times, that's for sure, man. Yeah, but anyways, guys, phone number 916-572-1020 if anybody wants to call in, give their speak their piece on these fights, man. What do you think about Kawanaki, man? Do you think he hangs him up or what? What do you guys think down there in the chat? What do you guys think, man? I see Boxing Vitals. It says, like Fart Man, the rapper. Yeah, that guy was a wannabe too, right? And he's a wannabe fucking boxing fan too. I didn't block that troll long time ago. Him and a lot of the dudes that associate with him, they literally have no clue about the sport of boxing. And the sad part is people give those guys a lot of energy, and I don't get it. I just don't get it. Like, same thing here on the internet, on the YouTube. Guys will make fake accounts and things like that and go around, and some of these channels will argue with these trolls, these fake account trolls that are impersonating other people, and like that's that's just ridiculous, man. Give me a second, guys.
Call from
Major Key Boxing.
All right, we got Major Key back on. What's up, bro?
Yo, I forgot to talk to you about that crazy ass referee, man. That referee kept warning that dude like for different reasons and not warning Gary Antoine Russell, bro. And
Yeah.
I'm not trying to take no credit from Gary Antoine Russell because he was being a dog in the fight too, and he actually looked like I understood his style in the fight, and I expected him to knock him out in the 7th round. Actually, I called it by 7th round KO. But the thing is that I feel like the ref did actually stop that a little earlier. If he would have let him continue, he probably would have got knocked out in the round that I predicted. So I'm a little pissed off about that.
No, you know what? You make a good point. When Russell got hurt towards the end of round 1, he just let Russell hold him for like basically the rest of the round and like didn't even break him.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
What are you doing?
Hey, you notice that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then when this dude grabbed him real quick by the arm, oh, don't hold. He kept on warning the other dude, but not warning Barthelemy. You know what I'm saying? But not warning Russell.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And I didn't understand that.
Yeah, there was definitely some fishy stuff going on with that referee, man. And
Yeah.
I don't like the fact that they didn't interview the guy and ask him like what.
Well, he declined. No.
He
That's what he
declined?
said. He declined to comment, and also the commission or the board or whatever they declined to talk until he spoke to him. So they want to talk to him first.
Oh wow.
So everybody declined to talk.
Wow.
But that reminds me of when Lamont Peterson beat fucking Amir Khan because he kept coming in with his head first, and Amir Khan kept pushing him back.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Amir Khan clearly won the fight, but they gave it to Lamont Peterson. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's funny. They wouldn't let the referee talk. Like even Richard Steele talked after the Meldrick Taylor Chavez won in that stoppage. Even he sat there and talked to Larry Merchant after the fight, and that was a big controversy back then. You know, like this guy. That's terrible, man. But there definitely needs to be some investigation there, man. Like we need answers, man. Like why on earth are you stopping this fight? It was a really good competitive fight, you know.
Yep. Yo, 409, call back in. Call back in right now, 409. I'm not gonna take up no more time. Call back in, 409. If you dial it right now, you're gonna get into G Funky. But yo, I just wanted to say that because I forgot to say it the first time. That kind of pissed me off, man. That whole refereeing thing, man. But we could build on that another time, man.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. Thanks for the input, brother. I appreciate it. Major Keep Boxing, guys. Yeah, 409. If you're still there, man, call back in. Let's see. Boxing Vitals here says Kalinowski is done. He takes too much punishment, will eventually get hurt. He'll be a human punching bag for the elite heavyweights. Yep. Yeah, I said that earlier. I don't know if you were here when I mentioned that anybody in the top 10 is going to destroy him. And it's going to be one of those fights where it's going to not even be like you know how when we talked about the way that Bam Rodriguez like destroyed Song V side, we were excited about it because he did it so skillfully and things like that. It's gonna be brutal if he fights it. Let's just think about it, man. Some of these guys, like he is gonna get. It's hard to even imagine what would happen if they put him in there with some of these guys in the top 10. Like, let's just say Wilder, right? They're hinting about him coming back, right? And this is a possibility because Kawanaki's a PBC fighter. Like, imagine if, wow. I don't even want to imagine how that would look. That knockout would look. That would be brutal. Brutal, all right? Even a guy like Andy Ruiz. I think Andy Ruiz annihilates Kawanaki. Annihilates him. Ramos says, where is Theo Rubin? I don't know, man. I'm about to get a hold of him one of these days. See what he's doing, you know, get him back on. And always good to talk with that guy, man. A whole Theo Rubin, man. Good stuff. Yeah, I apologize to 409. He called me twice and missed somebody else I got in right before him. But that's why you guys got to make sure that you're live when you come here. You know, make sure that you click that live button. on your computer screen or on your phone, whichever way whichever way that you're watching. This way, you're caught up and if I'm on with somebody or not, and then you can wait until that call is done. So, yeah, guys, good night of fights. I had a good time watching them. The only one that really pissed me off was the Barthelemy Russell fight. I feel like that was just complete bullshit what happened there. And yeah. I didn't like it, man. And I'm very interested to hear what the commission has to say about that stoppage, because that was just bad. Just awful. All right. Yeah. He is definitely classic, man. That's for sure. Next week, guys, I got something lined up. It's looking like next Thursday I'll be live for my breakdown of Ortiz versus McKinson, I believe his name is. I'll be joined by some friends of mine. All right. And we'll break that fight down. I have a boxing podcast of guys that are Texas based that will be joining me for that one. So we'll get that Texas flavor. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be a good show, man. For right now, it's gonna be on Thursday. But if anything changes, you guys know I will for sure let you guys know so you can be there and talk some boxing with me, man. That's what I'm here for. All right. But I'm gonna give a hand to both guys I called in today. Great stuff as always, and I appreciate all of you guys that joined me here live. Again, don't forget to hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, and all that good stuff, man. So that's it, guys. I'm gonna wrap this one up. Post-fight call-in show for Danny Garcia versus Jose Benavidez. It was always a joy talking with you guys, all right? But until next time, this is G Funky Boxing, and I'm out. You guys have a good weekend.